Hello and welcome everyone to Novice DMing, a place where you are all welcome, you are encouraged, and of course, you are all amazing. My name is Liam McKinnon. I am the game master for much of the content here for Novice DMing, but I noticed that right now, you probably noticed too, it's just you and me right now. My other players are not here with me at the moment. On the time of shooting this right now, it is Canada Day, so we are currently a day after our normal shoot times, but we also weren't available yesterday either. All the wonderful Sammy Silver and Cordell Bronze were not available to be able to play our regular scheduled session last night, so we decided to take the day off. However, knowing that this session was going to be coming up, and knowing that we had established a very unique and kind of darker subject matter involving Elysium and a few vampires in particular, I decided to do something a little experimental here today. And with your help, and of course your permission by watching this video, I would love to be able to take you on this journey. This is going to be a very unique roleplay experience right now. What is going to happen for this session is we're not going to focus on Gertie, we're not going to focus on Penny Potts, we're not going to focus on Declan either. We're going to focus on you. Specifically, we're going to focus on all of you at home, wherever you are, taking on the role of Leonidas. That's right, the vampire that was very much one of the villains of this story, who was trying to influence and envelop Gertie within the actual Camarilla. We're going to be focusing on you all playing Leonidas in a little solo session here. Essentially what's going to happen, I know you weren't expecting this, so you probably haven't come prepared, you probably don't even have your dice available for you, and you definitely don't have Leonidas' character sheet. Don't worry about that. I have that information right here in front of me, and I've got my own dice. So I will be able to roll for you when moments come up. I really wanted to focus on this because there's some elements that I think were very interesting to me the more I pondered them in our absence from each other, because we didn't film a few weeks ago either. And rather than go another bi-weekly period without actually playing this game, I wanted to involve you all in this experience that I've kind of set up here. First of all, to all of my Canadian viewers, happy Canada Day on the day of which we're shooting this. I don't really have any major announcements. The Fringe Festival in Edmonton is going to be coming up, and I will be a part of that, and I look forward to performing in Sorry Not Sorry's performance of yegDMing. It's going to be a wonderful experience. It's a really cool show, and I'm very excited about my character. I might even share some little concept pieces with all of you on the channel in case you guys are not able to make it. But I'm currently don't have any other major things going on right now, so with that all in mind, I just simply want to set the kind of the tone of this session, and I also want to kind of prepare you. A lot of what is going to be focused on right here is very much a sense of powerlessness. You at home are not taking control of Leonidas, but I want you to feel what it is like to be him in this current circumstance that he is in. There are certain things that are very much present in the world of yegVMP that I want to make clear for people, but I don't necessarily feel like we would be able to touch them or touch on these moments with the way that our current players are playing the game, the elements of interest that they've taken on. I don't think these moments will come up organically unless I was to force them, and I don't necessarily want to just force situations on the players without them actually taking interest. So, we're going to be putting you in a position where you are powerless to a lot of what happens here. because of that, a lot of this is going to feel very much probably or potentially um, mentally and emotionally difficult to take on. We will be dealing with a lot of subjects of manipulation, loss of identity, and powerlessness, and also dealing with a lot of like confined spaces. So, because of that, I want to make sure that I give you all a proper heads up, as well as making sure that if you are triggered by anything that can deal with a lot of like mental manipulation, mental and emotional abuse, as well as a lot of loss of identity subjects, I want to make sure, or just claustrophobia in general, I want to make sure that you don't go into this blind, as well as give you an opportunity that if you're curious about this, we will be dealing with a tremendous amount of direct, visceral descriptions of that kind of attacks on somebody, as well as that kind of level of horror. So I want to give you just a heads up about that, so that way you can leave the video if you want, or just to prepare yourself. Thank you very much for that. And I also want to let you guys know we'll have a little moment to decompress afterwards, because I care about you guys, and being a part of my little weird, storytelling moment, wanting to take that on, I want to make sure you guys are taken care of. So thank you all very much for going on this journey with me, for being a part of this, and that's really all I have to say. Now, normally we ask for questions, but I don't think there's really many questions we can do. Don't have much to check in with, except I'm very excited to be trying this with you all today. So, with that all in mind, let's dive into this solo session for yegVMP. When last we left you, Leonidas, you were in Elysium waiting to confront Gertie, an individual that is a part of a motorcycle gang that you have been impressed by for a few short days. Maybe it's even been a full week at this point. But you have never seen a kindred so unabashedly not giving a fuck about the idea of a status, like a power battle, power grab, like an individual who just is tough, strong, and cares so much about people like that are in her personal sphere, and no other ulterior motives outside of that, that there is a level of respect and appreciation you have for this person. You are a Ventru of a 13th generation of kindred and vampires. You have literally adopted, since the time of your embrace, the understanding of structure, the understanding the importance of the Masquerade and the structure within the Camarilla, knowing the difference with the Anarchs, the Sabbat, and also the intricate web that ties up between all the other kindred within Edmonton. You were a shining example of a person before your embrace. When it came to the world of finance and investment, you also were an individual who knew how exactly to get people to invest their money. You have mastered the concept of extortion now as a predator. However, coercion and manipulation of a lot of people has come not naturally to you, but they have developed as you began to actually discover what it was to be a vampire. You have understood for a long time the importance of structure, the importance of really the network of vampirism as it is within the city, but you know that there is a level of necessity to what the Camarilla has taught you about the mass majority population, the maximum amount of vampires that can exist in a city, and what that, when not controlled, the effect that can happen on your populace and on your people. Not just Ventru, but on Kindred in general. You know that what happened in the span of time from 2015 to like up to 2017 was one of the most systematic, heavily well orchestrated inquisitions that ever happened to Edmonton, to the point where the death rates that were occurring were growing exponentially beforehand. And this began to become a signal that vampires were actually within Edmonton. Hunters from Sherwood Park and even some select individuals within the city found these signals and moved in. And they were able to exterminate hundreds of vampires of Kindred, including your own personal sire. This point in time was a nightmare. It was the idea that this was the fall of an empire. But then humans got comfortable. And you all started to regain your footing. And then COVID hit. And during the time of COVID, that was a time for many people to be concerned with their livelihoods and their futures and their well-being and their health. But for you and other kindred, especially the members of the 5 points, you took your time. You plotted, you planned, and you prepared for the future. Focusing on the acquisition of a self-sustaining domain, Blatchford. It became a moment, an opportunity for yourself to actually begin to come out, to step forward, to be able to survive and be a shining example for other kindred, not just in the city, but across the country, that this kind of life is possible for us. You felt it. You bought that dream, and you made it your mission over the last few years to cultivate that dream. You brought 2 other vampires that showed promise, but they were mainly just kind of goons. It was Austin, and I believe also it was Keith something. Honestly, it's kind of funny because this one vampire, both of them, I guess, were never... Miles, yeah. Miles and Austin. Austin was an individual who showed more promise than Miles did. Miles was a little, unfocused in his actual ability to complete any tasks. And now he's gone missing ever since he was checking in on these vampires of Gertie and Declan, wherever they were going in Red Deer. He's missing now. And then Austin, anybody whose mind could be clouded so easily by whatever kind of magic, whether it be the supernatural powers of vampires or some kind of mage, at that point you don't need to waste any more time with that. And so he was able to be dismissed, going off to who knows where, but you don't have to worry about that. But you found another prospect in Gertie. You were going to prove yourself to the individuals, to the princess of Edmonton, and to the 5-point leaders, the ones that control the city in all of its aspects. And when you went to Elysium, you were ready to prove yourself. So much so that when you were in the presence of, at least around you, 4 members of that particular sect, you were ready. You felt ready. Unfortunately, something's gone wrong for you. You don't know what it is. You showed up confident and wearing your nice green suit, hair slicked back, confidence, your blood resonance is feeling strong. You somehow completely forgot to give Gertie the check that you promised her after you had sent a motorcycle gang to shoot up her place. The perfect kind of thing to hit somebody, a house dog, a guard dog, to say, here, I give you this, and I will give you more opportunities. And you forgot. You forgot to even start the conversation, and yet it seems the conversation had come to an end. You blacked out. That in itself is almost inexcusable, but now you've forgotten yourself in front of Mr. Glass, the one kindred you are never supposed to forget yourself in front of. Forget your sire. Forget her sire. Mr. Glass is someone you cannot ever buckle under. You've known this. But somehow it slipped your mind. And you don't know how. You can't recall. But not knowing something is even worse than knowing how you got there. And what happens to you now, Leonidas, is a result of you forgetting yourself in that moment. You know at this moment that you are escorted out of Elysium. You're taken out of the restaurant, the hotel, and you are taken into an unmarked car with a driver and a courier in the back seat. The couriers wear black masks over their eyes. You know these are individual kindred that have completely lost their identities. They serve a function, similar to the concierge within the Hotel of Elysium. You walk out and the concierge is present. They serve a function, and that is all they do. As you are driven in this black vehicle, you sit in this back seat. It is a luxury vehicle where you could lounge, relax, and drink, but there is no blood for you to consume. There's no glassware for you to use on the courier in front of you. All you can do is sit. It's the most uncomfortable position you've been in. You know people that have been put in this car before. You never thought it would ever be you, but it is. You drive or you ride for what feels like an hour. You don't know where you are. Any questions you ask are not answered. All that happens when the car stops, a window is tapped on the divider between the driver and the courier. The courier slides it open. The driver says, "We're here." Now, I think, Leonidas, you are someone who isn't, well, afraid to fight back, but your composure is very low. I'm going to simply have this be the information because I don't want to speak for you fully in this case. So I'm going to roll to see how you react. You have to roll composure, which is your lowest stat with a 1. I will say that this is going to be a physical attempt for you to also try to escape. So I'm going to say we're going to kick in... We could kick in athletics or survival. I think we're going to actually go with a survival check. Normally that is used for any kind of survival trap, but I'm going to say that we can make this apply for you to try and escape. Okay. You have 3 hunger right now. I have rolled 3 hunger dice. I am going to roll now for the individuals not in the car, but outside of it. I rolled 4 successes for the individuals outside of the vehicle. I rolled 2 successes for you, Leonidas, and I rolled a bestial failure. As you attempt to escape, you escape like a cornered animal. You burst out of the vehicle, almost breaking the doors off its hinges. You move, and you are grabbed by 3 powerful kindred. As you gnash your fangs, you howl into the night. No, no, no! You feel yourself be covered. You are cinched at your throat so you cannot scream by a collar used to kind of like a guiding rod. It cinches and wraps around your throat. You feel it tighten around your neck as you are ushered into a brick building that looms ominously in the October night. You see, you do not go through the main doors, but you go off to the side. The main doors themselves, they seem... they're made of glass, but behind them is pine wood. As if this place has been abandoned. It's been completely... what's the word? It's been essentially marked as almost to be demolished, kind of. But it's still here, in this remote area where there's some overgrown grass. You feel your feet be dragged across it. One of your shoes kicks off. You feel the sensations with your sock hitting the ground itself. A rock thumps on your foot, and you just kick it away as you are trying to get any level of grounding, but you don't get it. You are escorted to the side door. A dark green door with no... well, it has a window. A crisscrossed black window. The markers, you know the one. The one where the indications across it is like kind of a, slit that you could view through. The handle to this door is just a simple handle. There's no press because it locks from the inside, or it locks on the outside. You can only access it from the inside. There is someone inside of this building that presses on a kind of a pressure release that is put across the door. It opens, and you are carried through, up stairs, zigzagging upwards, up 3, 4, 5, up 7 flights of stairs. You are clawing at these individuals, trying to break out as best you can. You begin to scream about your position, Leonidas. Your entitlement breaks through. You speak about how you are a Ventru, how you are a member of the New Earners, how you know personally the elders, how you know personally the barons of Edmonton. You know the Great Duke. You know everyone. And you keep saying that. How they will be stripped, these kindred will be stripped of their titles and position if they do anything to harm you, to wrong you. They give you no response. You look at these kindred and you see they do not wear masks. They do not wear anything over their eyes. But you can perceive that they are not there. Shells of kindred, where titles, position doesn't matter. They serve a function. On the 7th floor, a door is pushed open. And you look down a long hallway. Low lighting. Harsh. Flickering. Lights. Going down a hallway of green and beige on a stained, like, dark, burnt, umber, carpeted floor. Every one of the rooms around you here is on a green door, the numbers of which some of them have fallen off from their screws. You pass by them. You hear a wail, a scream, faint, behind one of the earlier doors. And you are carried down. At the end of the hallway, there is one door. One door that has no markings, no indicators. You also see that the eye hole towards it is gone and is filled in. This room is unknown to anyone. It's almost like a room where you feel yourself pull away as you get closer and closer to it. You feel yourself pulling farther away from it, but every time you do, you just get closer to the point where the door is ominously hanging before your senses, and it feels like it is about to fall on top of you. You just feel it is right up against you, Leonidas. And one of these individuals takes out a key, sticks it right through the keyhole, turns the knob, opens the door. It is open, and what you see in front of you is a room. It is a tight space where all the 3 walls that encase it around are made of brick. Hanging above is a single incandescent light bulb. In the farthest wall from you, there are 2 high, reinforced, high-quality, steel rungs. They have nothing currently present with them. They're just exposed bits of metal that loop into the brick. You are thrown into the room, and as your hands land onto the ground, you can feel this it's like a hexagonal shape pattern of white and black, kind of just like smooth. It's not even like linoleum. It's just almost like some kind of like vinyl on the ground, and it's hard. Underneath you is just hard surface. And the door closes and you hear the lock go. Now, Leonidas, you are a very powerful vampire. Your strength is quite significant. It's a 3. I'm going to just simply roll 4 dice for you, athletics and strength, as you attempt to feel and punch up against this door. That is 1 success, unfortunately. You feel yourself bang, 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 slamming against this door, calling out, once again, expletives, calling out to the kindred that have thrown you in here. You slam onto it, but you can feel this door is not just any normal apartment door. It's not made of wood. It's like metal on the other side of it. The wall beside you, as you kind of look around here, it's bare. It has green kind of like paint on it. And you just see up above this kind of like weird shadowed ceiling of green around you. And you just feel yourself caught in this room. You smack up against the brick, angry that you can't remember, that you forgot. You look in your pocket, in your jacket, and you see the check. You rip it. You cast it aside from you. You grab on your coat. You smack onto the bricks. You smack onto the door, and you punch harder and harder. You throw your jacket to the side. You just feel yourself angry, raged, confused as to how you even got here. Everything was going so well. And yet now, for some reason, you're here. But where is here? You don't know. There's no chair to sit on. There's nowhere to sit, so you sit on the floor. You sit your head up against the brick. One thing's for certain, Leonidas, you're going to be here for a while. You don't know how long, but you're going to be here for a while. And so you just go back into your mind of knowing that you know people, and they will know what happened at Elysium, and they'll know, or at least you know that they'll find you. They'll ask for you. They'll ask about you. People will talk about you, and people will remember exactly what had happened, and they're not going to let whatever happened go by. Yes, Gertie is your personal pet project, but you'll be able to figure that out. You'll figure it out when you come out of this place. You know you can. You've got this. Everything will be fine. Your will is shattered at this moment. You're in a place where you can't aim for any ambitions. The only desire you have right now is to escape, to get out of here. You think that desire will carry you into one day, but when you rest in this room, you look for a light switch to turn out the light. There isn't one. You are stuck in this room with an incandescent light bulb humming. And bricks behind you. Slightly shadowed ceiling. The green wall encasing that green door. With the desire to escape, I'm going to roll your hunger die, Leonidas. I'm just going to let you know, even if you succeed on this, we are going to roll until you fail. Your hunger is at 3. However many times it takes you to succeed on this, or to fail 2 more times, that is how many days you are in this room. That's a success. That's cocked. That's a failure. 3 days go by. Your hunger increases. You're not brought food. You're not brought blood. You're not brought anything. That's a success. Almost failed. 5 days. 5 days for a kindred. And this is when you go into a hunger frenzy. Maybe. Or a terror frenzy. I'm going to have you simply roll your stats here. You're going to roll your highest for each category. Mental, social, and strength. Whichever one fails or has the lowest result, that is how you will respond. Physical will be a violent blood frenzy. A social will be a that will be a hunger frenzy, and then mental will be a terror frenzy. Social first. 2 successes. No successes for physical. 1 success for mental. This is a blood frenzy, Leonidas. This is where you act out violently. I believe this is a... See, this is when I gotta get down right to the nitty-gritty. You're having fun time so far? I hope you are. I'm scared for you personally. I don't know. 5 days, that's a long time. I'm sure you'll be fine. Okay. Here we go. Fury frenzy. Violent expressions. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, you go into a fury, Leonidas. And in a fury, you smash these bricks. You break them. You break the light bulb above you. 5 days in this room. You break it. You bust it. You shatter it. You pull the vinyl off the ground. What you reveal under it is solid concrete, and you smash your fists into it. Your claws dig in. You start clawing through the granite, the bits of cement that hold the bricks, and you start trying to pull bricks out to smack and break the wall down. There's a moment where you become so violent in this room, the door actually opens, and you rush the kindred that opens it. As you rush, this is a simple brawl check, where you essentially... Oh, okay. That's pretty good. 2 successes. I rolled 6 successes with a critical success. You lunge towards them. They catch you by your throat once again using the same catcher, but this time they also use their own hands. When you snap that in half, they catch you by the throat. You're pressed against the wall that you've been beating at, and the next thing you notice, there are 3 individuals coming up the lit hallway into this dark shadowed room. All you see, aside from the chains that they carry, reinforced steel, is Mr. Glass, standing farther across the hallway, his helmet fixed. It's like he's speaking to these kindred. You feel the chains wrap around your arm, then your other arm. You feel your arms lock in place. You feel them tie behind your back, crossed over top behind you. And you feel the chains connect and loop through the loops that are embedded into the wall. They are locked, held in place there, and then you feel yourself be locked with two reinforced steel locks onto the chains so that you cannot budge. You try to move up on your legs, and you are pulled back down by the chains from the position to the point where the most you can do is be on your knees, craning your back. And what happens is you see these kindred leave you in the dark. The door closes as you hiss and howl and scream, raging against these chains. Typically, this is not what happens with a frenzy. Typically, you have an opportunity to feed and to calm down. All I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a blood die once again. On a failure, that will be when your frenzy doesn't fully go away. You will still be in anger, but you will be approachable. That is a failure. 6 days. The 6th day, the day after this one, your blood is boiling, but it's like being in a hot kettle where the whistling and screeching subsided, and now you sit on your knees. You've been digging them into the concrete. The door opens. Your eyes are bloodshot. Your fangs are bared. You've dug into your own lips and your own cheeks at this moment. You sit and you hiss at whoever has entered. You hear the sound of the broken light bulb be pulled out, and a new incandescent light bulb is put in. It blinds you, and standing before you in a dark suit with black gloves over their hand and the mirror helmet over is Mr. Glass. You hiss, you scream, speak of his position. You do not deserve to be here. You ask why you are here. And what does he want from you? What do you want? You continue to hiss and howl. And what Mr. Glass says to you is, in that tone of voice that even behind the mask has full clarity, he says, I want you to see. And with a gloved hand, he closes the door and leaves you in the dark. He leaves you in the dark for one more day. 7 days, Leonidas. 7 days you've been in this room, starving. You can feel your parasitic blood suffering, escaping almost out of you. The rage. You feel it almost like you could shred your arms out of these chains. You are so hungry, angry. And the door opens again on the 7th day. A chair is brought. but not for you. The chair is brought by a nameless kindred. Sat down in the center of this room, and in walks Mr. Glass, beholding you. Sweat and blood has stained your clothes, some of which you have torn out, some of which are just tattered, stained sweat, blood, the concrete marked with blood from your knees that you have dug through your fine tailored clothes. He sits down and leans towards you, Leonidas. And as you hiss and continue to speak towards him, he just stares at you. The kindred goes out of the room, closes it. Fun little moment right now. The fireworks have started for Canada Day. Mr. Glass looks, gives his attention to you. No disciplines will be able to work on you. No special powers. Your mind is completely devoid of that. He has to settle you. So he sits and stares at you. You look into his glass dome, and you see nothing. No one. He doesn't even acknowledge your presence. He doesn't acknowledge your fury. He just leans towards you, so close that if you push towards him, you would get right up, your nose almost touching the helmet, but does not make contact, and he does not move back. You feel the chains snap behind you. Mr. Glass stares. And he says, "Why? Why bite? Why scream? Why howl? You do not give an answer to this. Why? Why does he think?" He almost answers for you at this moment. He says, "The beast gnashes its teeth when it is hungry. You are hungry now. Of course you're hungry. You've been hungry now for at least 4 days. Before then even. Slam, you pull towards him. He lets you gnash some more. He pulls the chair to the side. He opens the door. And what happens next is you see at the very end of the hallway where you passed 7 days ago, a door opens. Even from this distance, you get a waft of fresh crimson. Well, fresh is one word, but blood. A little old and stale, but you can smell it from here. As soon as that door had a crack in it, you could tell. Two kindred come around you. They unlock the chains, unlock the locks that hold the chains both to the wall and to you. And as you feel the chains loosen, no words are said, but you get up and sprint down the hallway. You are not a kindred deals with celerity, but you feel you could run through and punch a hole in this entire building. There's almost a moment where you feel you'll run through the open door, through to the kindred that's in front of you. Before you even have a chance to think about what you'll do as you approach that door, you near its openness. The momentum almost stops you. You feel the door smash into you, forcing you, propelling you into this room. And what you see in this room is an abandoned apartment, stained in blood. You see a woman on a bed, bleeding. Looks like she's holding on barely to life. Barely. Blood is not strong. Whatever you consume will only slake enough hunger for you to probably regain your senses. You don't even think about it at this point. You just dive into her. You drain them fast. And you recover from your frenzy, from your hunger, briefly, but you're still starving. So you go in again as you allow the blood to settle, and you keep draining, trying to find more veins on the body. You try to bite into the arms, the legs, the thigh, her breasts. You try to bite into her stomach, into her spine, into her head. And you get all you can get. And after a certain moment when the show is over and this is all, you've had enough, or they believe you've had enough, you are grabbed from the back of your hair, your black hair. You're pulled back, dragged back into the room. You are thrown, tossed in. The chains are no longer attached to the wall. The blood is still there. And all that is said to you by glass is, remember this feeling. You have been fed. The beast has been fed. I will return when the beast hungers again. And you try to call out for him to stop, but they are gone. One of the kindred smashes, pushes your head back. The door closes. You've slaked to hunger from this corpse. And we roll again. Failure. Your composure is not good for yourself, Leonidas. You know hunger, but you've not known hunger like that. Never like that. There's a moment when you sit in this room, fearing your blood when you awaken again the next day. You don't know if it will overtake you, but there is a moment when you sit against the door after knocking on it, where you feel the brick walls begin to build. You stare at this wall and you see it in front of you, but as you look up, it continues to go up and up and up, and this fluorescent light bulb hangs from a cord that seems to go on forever. You feel everything just massive against you. You can pound as much as you want to, but you just feel it. You feel yourself lost in this tower. You don't know if another day will come. You are hoping your blood doesn't rise like that again, but it could. It could unleash the beast again. I'll roll one more die. And so your hunger rises once again to 5. A frenzy will occur. I will allow you to attempt to resist this one. We shall see if it is a success. In order to do this, you must roll willpower. And 1/3 of your humanity. You've only got 2 humanity dice. And you have no willpower to really regain. No. You go into a frenzy once again. We'll change it up a bit for you this time. Hunger frenzy or terror frenzy. It's a terror frenzy. You are lost in that vision of this endless room, shrinking on you. And you scream again. You feel yourself quaking. You wish you could escape. If this room was on fire, it would be a release, but it is not. It is something that locks you in place. You have nowhere to escape towards. You scream, crouched underneath. You hold on to the concrete, and then you hold on to the steel rungs, thumbing them, because that metal itself, it is a different sensation than the bricks and the rock and the metal of the door. So you just feel yourself stroking it, and then you grab onto the hot incandescent light bulb and feel the burn just so that it can shock you back to your senses. But then you howl and scream, hoping that the fire, the burning that you feel, singe you. You singe your face on this lightning. You feel it. You grab onto it, feel it singe until the light pops in your face. You wake up. Blood and glass is being pulled from your head, wiped off. Another light bulb is there. Mr. Glass sits in a chair. Kindred treat you. There is a small bit of human blood you have access to. It does not slake a lot. Your blood potency is becoming so powerful that you can resist it, but you can still consume it. As you do, you feel the frenzy die, but you are left in the room once again with Mr. Glass. He looks at you. And what he says is, Kindred, why are you in this room? You honestly feel like you could have answered a long time ago. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You look around maybe for the papers that are in the room, but there is no paper. The torn up pieces of the check, they're not there anymore. You'd have sworn they were here. You look back at your tattered suit, you could have sworn as well you were somewhere important. That you are someone important. Mr. Glass tells you to look at him after you've looked around the chamber. We're going to roll a contest here. You're going to make a wits awareness test. The difficulty of 5. I'm going to roll 4. You need a critical success in order to succeed here. And they are all on blood dice. So, when you get a blood dice on a critical success, then the beast will succeed, which may be your only way out of this. 2 successes. 1 is a critical. But the failure is a bestial failure. What happens here, Leonidas, is you begin to be spoken to by Mr. Glass. And essentially, what happens here now is you lose every sense of your identity, everything you ever were, every ambition you had, every desire you had is gone. Your ambition to control Edmonton's south end, to hopefully then move into the Blatchford domain, that is gone. Your desires to escape and to eat, to understand, they are gone. Knowledge of the impression, the true respect you had for Gertie is gone, because you do not hold any understanding of what made you interested in them, because you do not have a conscious will of your own. You're not moved by emotion. This doesn't happen instantaneously. I will tell you what happens. Mr. Glass, in staring at you, you see every square mirror reflected. And in that you see nothing. Every individual mirror. You don't see the bloody clothes. You look down, they are there, but you do not see them when you stare into his face. He simply says, Kindred, you are at fault. You are a failure to your kind. You failed your purpose. Your purpose, you were given a task. You wear gloves, Leonidas. And the gloves are pulled off of you by Mr. Glass, and underneath you see the tattoos that you have on your person. Tattoos of 5 pointed stars. An indication of loyalty as a new earner for the 5 points. As you stare at these stars, Mr. Glass says, look upon your hands. Each point is a necessary point for this city. A city that you call home. Your haven. His haven is Edmonton. You exist in this city, but you are not at the center. You are not at any point. You are part of the line. The line that connects. The line that forms the city. Which line? You look at the crisscross direction. You think you could place yourself in the line. You remember having a sire. You are no one line. Every line is made up of a single blot of ink. Ink makes up the whole. That is all you are. You are ink in a line, etched to the permanent face of the city. You start to think about this, start to think about that individual ink and that dot, and then as you do, you look at the mirror, every individual mirror, but then it slowly begins to push in on one. It's almost as if one little tiny mirror begins to take up the entirety of this mask, this helmet, until you're just looking in that one. Any one of those should be able to reveal you. You look to try to see one individual person, and you see nothing in all of it. The significance you carry is microscopic. You are not part of the point. You are not even the center of the star. You are a blot. A blot exists only to connect to others. Your purpose is to connect to others. You look in this moment, and you look back, and you try to recruit others. You are a recruiter. You recruit kindred that we deem worthy. You are not worthy yourself. You are not worthy because you have failed your purpose. You fail to recruit others, and you will not fail again. That single individual mirror, you begin not to see. It's almost like 360. You look around the entirety of the helmet and to this entire room, and there is no reflection of anything in it. You almost see nothing. Just the room. This individual in the center. And you just repeat after what feels like an hour of riding through this. You failed your purpose. And what is your purpose? This helmeted individual says, your purpose to recruit. Whom do you recruit? Those that are worthy. Who is worthy? I will find who is worthy. Who will find who is worthy? And you could swear you would say your name. You could swear you could say it. when Mr. Glass once again speaks almost for you and says, no one. No one. Nothing is here in this room. And Mr. Glass says, nothing is before me. And you say, nothing. And Mr. Glass says, no one speaks before me. You say, no one. You are, and you say, nothing. You are no one. This goes on for a long time. You repeat constantly. You are no one. You are nothing. No ambitions, desires, drives, grand goals. You have a purpose. A purpose to recruit. You are a recruiter. Your skills are honed to recruit people. Kindred. You can recruit cattle if you do your job well. But kindred must be found first. Find them. Find those that are worthy. A day is going to come, Mr. Glass says, when those that are worthy will be spared, and those that are unworthy will be burned, beheaded, and drained of life. Your purpose is clear. Recruit the worthy, kindred. That is what you are, recruiter. That is what you are. That is what you do. So recruit. And you will never go hungry again. Recruit. 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 In the days that follow, the room doesn't feel anything foreign. It doesn't feel overwhelming. You are brought blood to drink from, humans to drink from, not to drain, but to focus your mind. You go through this recruitment, and you begin to rebuild your mind, your will to do that very task. You think only of your task. You prepare yourself. You go through notes and logs. You are brought papers, organizing kindred. This room for a few days begins to become a home or an office. You have no home. Your haven would be Edmonton. You are of this city. This is your office for now. But that time passes, and you must step out of the room. You are brought a change of clothes. No distinguishing marks. No fancy emblems. Nothing to indicate anything beyond just a respectable position, one that holds power, a recruiter, to recruit kindred that are worthy. Of what? Well, that task will be given to you shortly, soon. The directives will be clear, but you are in need of going to an office space, a space to process and find worthy kindred. It takes some time. This process is long. When you step out into this hallway, you feel changed. It does not pull your focus. You do not feel yourself become tunnel visioned. You just step out, changed in new clothes, walking past the room. The sensations of the blood from the one room do not overcrowd you, but you walk down the stairs of your own volition. Your wounds have mended and healed. You do not feel the aches from the chains anymore. You don't even think there were chains even to begin with. Why would they need to chain you up? You're nothing. You're no one. And so you walk down. You push open the door to the side of this building, and you see an individual vampire being dragged behind you, past you. It's a brown-skinned vampire, kind of like shaved down hair, right down. They're howling and screaming as they're in kind of like regular street wear, like plaid shirt, loafers. They're brought in. Door closes behind them. And all that goes through your mind, recruiter, clearly seeing this kindred, as you say, out loud, confirming for yourself, unworthy. Coolly, confidently, you are taken in a different car. This car is one not of luxury, but one where you sit back. The driver's back is to you. You sit in the back seat, and you go through your forms, your files, ready to make an investment, ready to coerce and extort whomever you must in order to achieve this. Leonidas Peri is an individual vampire and a kindred that lives in the city of Edmonton, is stripped of identity, of name, of knowledge, and like many kindred who have failed but hold a necessary position for the safety, security of the future for the Camarilla in this city. Leonidas, now stripped of everything, stands as a recruiter. They will not be one of the three kindred that will be able to take the Blatchford domain. But if they are clear in their purpose and aim towards that goal, searching for worthy kindred, they may just find someone worthy for that position. That is all for this session of yegVMP. I thank you guys so much for going on that journey. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot in that. I know that can feel very overwhelming and intense. I think it's very clear, for myself at least, that the life of Leonidas is one that is definitely a bad problematic dude. He's a very evil person. He was brought in a very evil culture, very evil people kind of guide that hand. And stripping one's identity of themselves is harsh and hard. And the techniques that Mr. Glass does are very, very big. The entire experience kind of sitting in that's a lot. But yeah. What I hope for is that our PCs never have to face the inside of that room, ever. What I hope is that you guys are well and good. I thank you very much for going on this journey with me. And what I hope more than anything is that you don't take this as a ideal of becoming a vampire or anything like that, in that space. What I hope you remember at the end of this day is that I'm very thankful for all of you going on this journey with me. I've never done something really like this outside of like small little things I do with Novice DMing, which are like solo horror stories, but that still is very collaborative. And I still am talking to a person in the same room with me, or in the same space at least. This is very different. I've never talked really at someone with them, but I want you to know that I feel very much connected with you in this moment. I hope you never felt it was just simply me talking at you, unless it was an effective thing. I hope that you felt just that care connection there going on this journey, because boy howdy, I can know how it can feel pretty alone just sitting listening to this. I want to kind of decompress a little bit and say that for myself, what I really want to approach with this is kind of like almost like experimental art house cinema. I very much grew up loving art house films. Some of my favorite films are like from Ingmar Bergman. I very much love some of the intensely kind of like horror films, kind of like singular, isolated stories. And I know that those stories can be very difficult to do in a role-playing setting, and sometimes tonally they don't hit all the time, and some people have an aversion to it. I really want to thank you guys so much for being here with this. This is a session that is very much, something very special for me. I appreciated this very much. I liked doing this. When I conceived this idea, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a really fucked up thing to do. And I really liked it. Because I was like, man, I've never seen that be done before in actual play or anything. And certainly discovering the rules, I wanted to see if this could be something that could be done. And I'm really happy with this. And I'm looking forward to you all seeing it and making this be part of the story for yegVMP as well. So once again, I thank you all so much for being at this session. I hope you remember, and you say your name out loud, okay? You say it. My name is Liam McKinnon, okay? You are somebody. You are not nothing. You are somebody. You're not nobody. You're not no one. You're somebody. And you're going to say your name. Say your name in the comments down below. And more than that, I want you to know that you are more than welcome. You are more than encouraged. And you are absolutely amazing. And I hope that you enjoy the next session of yegVMP when everybody else is at the table. I know I certainly am going to like it a lot as well. So thank you all so much. Until next time, take care.